Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Till the rap or open it up.
Exactly, listen to Shawnee. Right, and Cash Out's the easy way to get money transferred when you're out with friends. So pick up into that and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Tailgate crazy. What's up, guys? It is Sunday morning, so it's the start of a new day, right? And another great episode of Fantasy Reports. How goes it? I am your bus driver, Cedric Green. And I got a guest today, guys. Look at that. We got other people coming on and joining, so it's going to be fun talking some fantasy reports. We got TJ. What up, TJ?
What's going on? Thanks for having me on. I guess sometimes school buses have those assistant monitors. I guess I'm the monitor today.
There we go. Hey, make sure the back is safe. Make sure everybody behind me is rowdy, because once I get this coffee in me, man, ain't no telling where we're gonna swerve to on this bus. So,
I can't wait.
Right, going into week 2. Week 1 is officially behind us. We're officially in the NFL season, and man, what a week 1 it was. I feel like we saw some teams struggle that we thought might have been a little bit better. We saw some teams look really good. And then when it comes to fantasy, man, we saw a lot of, I don't know what the word is, but a lot of smoke and mirrors, maybe so, for week 1. So it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of really crazy injuries. There are some pretty big name injuries fantasy wise, but nothing too crazy. So we'll just go through all the games, see what we have injury wise, see what we have fantasy player wise. Maybe we're starting some players that you didn't even think about starting before. So we'll check that out. I know there were some new names in the top 5 scoring list last week. Danny Dimes, Justin Fields, stuff like that. So we'll go through and see, guys. Let's see what injuries we got. But before we do, like I always do over here on the bus or on the bandwagon, we'll go ahead and jump into a promo. So we'll get those promos out of the way for Shady Sports. Head over to Shady Sports Network if you haven't already. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and just check us out, guys. We got great stuff coming at you almost every single day on Shady Sports Network. So head on over to the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, head over to our website, hit that like button, and we will be right back and get into it. All right, I was wondering why I couldn't see. Had to get my glasses. Yo, TJ, I know you recently became an Eagles fan. What were your thoughts on AJ Brown last week pitching a no-show?
It was definitely different. But for fantasy owners, it's definitely it could be a little bit of a red flag. But I think honestly it's just an overreaction. It was week 1, and that game was just weird all around. Especially with the weather. As soon as the weather delay happened, both offenses stalled out completely. So, I don't know if it had to necessarily do with the conditions or not, because I think it was just mostly thunder and lightning close enough to pause the game. But I would relax. If you still have him on your team, I would start him again today, especially against Kansas City Chiefs, because they are going to need AJ Brown today. He's physical. He's, great hands, catching in traffic. He can go off over the top on you. So I would definitely start him today against Kansas City Chiefs later on I believe the game's at 4:30, and guaranteed, man, he's probably going to put up about at least 10 to 12 points today, if not more. But he's going to be a major factor today after last week, I think.
Yeah, man, and that's funny because after that Thursday night game, I was like, yeah, dang, that's why I don't draft AJ Brown, even though I rode him to the championship last season. Him and Saquon. But no, it's just like that's why I stay away from Eagles players. It felt like it was probably going in that direction. But then the week started. And we saw major guys like Justin Jefferson have 4 receptions for 44 yards. I was trying to pull up Jamar Chase's stats, but I don't think Amon-Ra 4 catches, 45 yards. I don't think any of the major guys had super crazy points. So yeah, looking at it, was like, okay, it's week 1. I'm not stressing it. Don't panic. I think, if you got your major guys, I don't know. I try to give it till week 3, week 4 and see what's really going on. Especially once you see once CMC goes down, then everybody else can get points around the league, it feels like. But yeah, so I wouldn't panic on that. That was my one for the day, guys. So get your start set questions, and as we go through it, we'll jump through the teams. And yeah, just my take from that was don't stress your major guys. I saw some people running and quick to drop some big names. And it's like, wait, what are you picking up? Danny Dime? What are we doing? Like, what? You can't pick this person up. You're picking up rookie receivers over. Yeah, so it's a long season. We have so much more.
And not to jump the gun, but it's funny you mentioned that because my one buddy, we were actually talking last night, me and 2 other buddies in a group chat, and he has Bo Nix, and he's already freaking because of how he had a not so great game last week, and he picked up Danny Dimes and Aaron Rodgers, and he's like, "Yo, who should I start instead?" And I was like, "Stick with Bo Nix." And he's like, "Nah, I'm going to start Danny Dimes." And I'm like, "I guarantee you start Danny Dimes today, he ain't going to do that well."
Right, and then speaking of Aaron Rodgers, man, I think I said it last week about Aaron Rodgers when he saw him have his one good game with the Jets last season in week 3, I think it was, where they went off. He can't do that every week. He can't do it every game. If he would like to. Let's see.
Especially after 1 week, you also have to look at the quality of opponent they were against too.
Exactly. They were, and you look at it and say, okay, well, they were going up against the highest paid cornerback and Sauce Gardner, and the Jets ain't no slouch on defense, but they are, right. Ever since they got rid of Robert Saleh, they're not that terror we thought on defense, right. This is that little figuring out stage for them where they're trying. Like, I wouldn't roll out the Jets defense.
I'll tell you what, though, people who took that risk pick on Justin Fields, though, it could pay dividends this season if he keeps playing like that. I mean, he didn't play. I mean, he played lights out, but he doesn't even need to play lights out. Just continue to be consistent, and he's going to be a solid, not just quarterback in real life, but also in fantasy terms as well.
Yeah, what's so cool is because they want to see him succeed over there. They don't have somebody else they're trying to figure out and see if they're going to be the starter. They don't have some other the coach isn't trying to go in a different direction. Like, he understands what Justin Field does, what he can do, and he's playing to that. He's building around that. We even saw, Garrett Wilson eating last week, right? Speaking of, going back to my receivers. So, I think that was kind of the theme we saw with the Steelers last year too, that people, I don't know why. I felt like I was seeing it, but it felt like when Justin Fields was in the game, George Pickens had a much better fantasy game, right? It was a bit more open up. Even, Najee Harris was having a much better game. So I don't understand why they chose to go in a whole different direction. I guess they saw what the Jets did last season and felt that Aaron Rodgers would give them a better chance at the Steelers, which is weird. But it is cool to see the Jets are finally embracing what they have. And I mean, we saw the Dolphins. We saw how bad they looked. And we keep saying it's just week 1, but right now the Jets kind of have a chance to compete over there. We saw, the Patriots lose to a determined Raiders team. Who knows what's going to happen. The Bills are probably one of the better teams in the NFL. So I don't see maybe, but hey, Justin Fields is like a baby Josh Allen. You look at it he follows that mold of quarterbacks, that type of quarterback. So I could see a
And
good.
because of all the hype and everything too that surrounded him, it feels like he's been in the league for so many years. He's actually only in like year 4.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because the
he still
Bears
has
like
like
is
an
so quick
easy
to
six to
jump
eight
on.
years left.
I know that's and it's funny because there's probably what at least like 3 quarterbacks floating around the league like that from the Bears because you got
Hmm?
Justin Fields, damn, who was a quarterback?
Trubisky.
Huh, Trubisky, and
Trubisky.
then who was they had one other guy last year, the year before, Kenny Pickett. You got
Kenny Pickett. No,
Kenny
not
Pickett.
Kenny. He went from Steelers, Eagles, Browns,
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? The still who was I talking about? I don't know. It's early. What team we're talking about putting
Justin
out early
Fields,
quarterback?
and then the
No,
Bears.
the Bears. Sorry, the Bears. Yeah, no, Kenny Pickett feels like he should have been on the Bears. That felt like that was a Bears type season. Because then Trubisky took him to the playoffs the year before, and then they're like, oh, I don't know. I get them mixed up. It's too
Yeah,
early.
it was like Trubisky's last year was like their last. Mitchell Trubisky and Coach Nagy's last year as head coach. That was their last playoff appearance, I think.
Where's Coach Nagy at now?
He's back with Kansas City, OC,
Oh dang,
OC
no.
or quarterbacks coach or something like that.
Yeah, you see how bad that offense is looking. Man.
Yeah, hey man, that ain't on Nagy. I love Coach Nagy though, man. Former arena guy, I love it.
Okay. I like that too, though. Then it's cool that he's still with the NFL, right? And he could probably go back
Yeah,
to the arena and probably that'd be dope, right? I like who was it that Coach Saban, he went back to the college ranks and look, he dominated. Now he's a legend all these years later. You go back with that experience and then things all of a sudden change, man. I was thinking about that. What's up, Sam? Hey, brah, thanks for joining in. I was thinking about that, just not to get off track, but I always do. Whatever, there's no track. We rolling in this bus. But watching the fights last night, and it was Mohammed Akel, I think his name was one of the earlier fights, but just kind of speaking into that with Coach Nag, coaches going back. But like, I was just looking at his fight corner, and it's like it is freaking amazing to see like all these international fight corners nowadays. Yeah, no, I can go anywhere, right? In this bus, I don't have to sit at 60 miles an hour. I can swerve, I can drive, but no, what I was saying is it was cool because I think he was one of the first like Saudi Arabia, one of the first Saudi fighters to like make it as far as he's making it. And then you look around and you see all of these different fight corners in like boxing and UFC and then like all these different sports, man, where like coaches have come to like the professional ranks over here, and then they were able to go back and like completely build out like entire professional teams, where they may be the only link and piece to like over here, but still like they had that vision enough to do it exactly, do it the right way and just that one connection. So it is cool to see. It would be cool to see, Coach Nagy maybe once he decides to leave the NFL to go back to the arena ranks and just kind of take that experience, you know what I mean? He can, and I'm sure he probably does, he probably mentors so many different coaches, but, I think it'd probably do wonders to a team, right? To have like a previous NFL coach, even though I think the Chiefs are sputtering, but it would probably be really cool just to see like that, like I don't know. It's just like, you're not done when you're done. Most people just kind of go lateral, they go up, and then they don't come back. So, um,
yeah, it would be. I mean, now that arena has been around long enough, it would be cool to start seeing that full circle of guys, like you said, move up. And then once kind of like the NFL or the college ranks are, quote unquote, done with them, they kind of come back. And then it's like a huge fanfare because now they have such a bigger name, bigger
yep.
presence, everything else.
And that's it. That's what I mean. Like just their aura, right? Like their atmosphere, their gravitational pull is a lot larger at that point, right? Like even maybe just on the recognition alone, right? Like I just did a charity tournament with Volunteers of America, the Legends golf tournament out here, and at this golf course. It's just freaking amazing. It's cool. Like the owner of the golf course made it. he owns he I think he like works for Remax or something, but he made it specifically for like charities and stuff. And there's like a nice golf course across the way, but he made it specifically nicer. And what was I getting at? Just so like our legend, right? He I think he won the Masters in like 1989 or early 90s or something. But he made it on some list where it's just like him and like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and like three other like major known golfers, and he's like on that list with them. But he like really hasn't, there really wasn't a whole lot between then, and then now, but still able to go off that fame, and stuff like that. It does carry a long way, right? Like even with like, especially with like smaller organizations, man, like or even up and coming organizations, like some of these like new up and coming arena teams. So like to see like it would be cool. I is what I'm saying. Like if Matt Nagy to the Omaha Beef in 2032, like I imagine that would do wonders, right? We see what Dion did to the CU Buffs, stuff like that. Like sometimes just the name is all it takes.
Kind of phasing out now, but after yesterday, but
right, it is. But their next week's game is still prime time, so they still managed to get into week 3 prime time, or week 4, I guess at this point. I don't know. Was it week 2?
I think it is week 3. I think they played week 0.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
we were at that week 0 thing.
They just had Delaware on Fox TV, man.
If Delaware wins,
just
go back to sleep. Yeah, I said if Delaware beats them, just go back to sleep. That's
well, they played Delaware last week. They beat them, man.
Oh.
That's what got Ryan Staub the start this week, and then we see it's a whole different thing when you step into conference play, right? Like they just got mollywopped. But yeah, next week they might not be, prime time after that, but they still managed to get, a good 1, 2, 3 seasons, almost 2.5 seasons of primetime games just off the draw alone. So yeah, man, I imagine shoot, Matt Nagy stepped back on a team for a season. Imagine those ticket sales; those arenas would be packed, man. Roof flying off just because people want to say like, "Oh, it's all an NFL coach."
Especially if it was a former, or if it was a team like in the Kansas City area or something too.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean, and just
now.
Just a different exposure too, man. Like especially a team in the Kansas City area coming, and how long he's been with Kansas City, the team. All it takes for him to be like is, hey, this coach would be an excellent project, right? Then boom, all of a sudden an arena coach gets his chance to step up that he may not have gotten before. So there's so many different avenues for it. That I think is still even amazing, just having that connection and stuff like that. I didn't even think about like the coach from arena and indoor football to the NFL connection. I've been looking more so because I know you guys have been highlighting like the players to like the UFL and the NFL from like indoor football and arena football. So yeah, just even looking at the coach aspect of it, and maybe even like the equipment. Oh gosh, there's just so much behind it. It is cool. It's cool to see the ecosystem of how the football system still connects all around. But to roll this thing back around, I saw we got some new promos uploaded. Sam, if you still on here, I want to get that Shady Sports intro on here too. But I want to go ahead and play this promo really quick, and then we'll come back and we'll start into these games, starting with this Jaguar game. And look at some fantasy players. I know they traded away Tank Bigsby, which is crazy. I thought he was going to be their future, but I guess they saw enough of ETN last week. We say it's 1 week, but to some people, it's an entire season, right? They're like, oh, seen it all. We're good. They don't need them until they do. But hey, let's play this promo really quick, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna do jump into our injury reports, our start set. So get those start set questions in the chat if you want, and then we'll talk about that. And I'll have some other questions to go along with it. But yeah, just I got TJ hanging out with me today. We rambling on this bus on this Sunday morning, you know, no direction in sight, just kind of hanging and kicking it. So let's come kick it with us, guys. We'll keep it rolling. What's your boldest fantasy prediction for today? Let me know. Let us know in the chat, and we'll talk about it. We'll be right back.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA like, oh, okay, and then LA Knight hopped out the car, let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
Yeah, man. Join them two kangs. I love it, man. Yo, we got so much content over on Shady Sports Network. If you have not checked this out already, you are missing out. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead over to the YouTube, head over to the Instagram, head over to the X page, LinkedIn, wherever you are on social media, we probably got something there. So head over, hit that like button, subscribe to us. I think we just crossed over like 2,800 or something on YouTube. I want to get to 10,000 by the end of the season, guys. So if you're rocking with us, head over to that YouTube. It takes a second. Just hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell button. Well, you may want to hit. You check it out and see if you want to hit that bell button. We got so much content. You may be getting a reminder every 5 minutes. But we do have a lot of content. We have our Mountain West football every Saturday. We had Kurt Warner's son doing his debut yesterday on Mountain West football. So we have live football. We have live basketball with the Big Three Network. We have all types of sports, guys. We had rodeo yesterday. Right? There was some rodeo on there, man. So, you know, check us out. We got it. But, yo, jumping into these games. So, the early game starting this morning, 11 o'clock Denver time, 1 o'clock Eastern time. So, this first game I'm looking at Jaguars and the Bengals. Jaguars and the Bengals. We saw Jaguars have kind of their way with the Panthers last week, to where even God was like, hold on, let me slow this down and make sure this is really what's going on here. Got the Jaguars running away. But we saw them kind of have their way. We saw the Bengals kind of struggle a little bit against the Browns. So it's kind of back and forth with it. You know, who knows what to expect. I think we're all expecting the Bengals to go out and win this game today. But if it looks like it did last week, I mean, it'll probably be the Jaguars pulling it out. We don't really see too many crazy fantasy injuries from this game, the Jaguars and the Bengals. I don't think there really is anything, any injury fantasy relevant. But we do have some big name players that we're probably going to be looking, you know, to use today. And speaking of that, you know, we see Jamar Chase. He had 2 catches for 26 yards. Again, one of those receivers who just kind of wasn't there last week, and we were like, wait, where'd he go? What happened? Like, are we gonna drop him? No, you don't drop Jamar Chase. You drafted him first. He was your first pick. That's dumb. You're not gonna bench him. You're not gonna sit him. And yeah, no, we are gonna talk some arena football. We're gonna get some arena players into fantasy, man. Once we start seeing some of those guys pop up in fantasy, then it's real. Then we're ready for it. And I'll be talking to them all the time. But I'm definitely down to. I love to talk this arena football because I'm looking forward to the Colorado Spartans and the Pueblo Punish this season. It's gonna be fun and real in the field. But back to this game, yeah. So, what's that?
Ain't ready for the beef.
Oh man, the Omaha beef. That's your show, right? What day is that on? Get some promos.
Saturdays, 8 a.m.
There we go. Saturdays at 8 a.m.
The
guys.
indoor football world, baby.
There we go. Every Saturday. I don't know why Sam didn't put that in here with that promo, but we'll get it on there. And I'm I love it, man. Around the Indoor Football World is such a fun show. You guys have some amazing guests on there too. But yeah, no bets I made. Did I make a bet on this game? I didn't make any bets on this Bengals Jaguars game. But the players I'm looking at real quick, of course, Jamar Chase. You're looking at him to have a bounce back game today, so you got him starting in your lineup. Chase Brown, 21 carries, 43 yards, had the tutty last week, so he did pretty solid. But I think that's still promising because there's nowhere to go but up from there. And then Joe Burrow, not the best of games either. But again, it was the first game. I think, it was a divisional game. You're playing against an opponent that knows you, sees you twice a year, and their job in life is to do nothing but try to beat you. So the Browns are super determined. I think they came out a little bit more determined than what the Jaguars will come out against. I mean, come on. We're not looking at Trevor Lawrence to outduel Joe Burrow. I don't think that's going to happen, even with their phenomenal wide receivers and their two-way receiver, and Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas, he had 11 yards last week. I mean, it's still the same difference, though. I mean, he proved his quarterback proof last year, playing with Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence. I'm rocking with Brian Thomas again. He was probably your second receiver pickup or your first receiver pickup in one of the first 3 rounds if you have him. So I am not sitting him on the bench. ETN, you saw what they did. They got rid of Tank Bigsby, so they're going to run it with him. He went off last week. I told you he was going to eat. The Bengals aren't much better on defense than the Panthers, so I would kind of keep rocking with them on that aspect. And then,
Yeah, for me, that's the real question. It was, was it more the Browns' offense getting in their own way, or was the Bengals' defense at all any better? Anytime you have a low-scoring game like that, I mean, the Browns' defense, you got to give them respect. They held Burrow in check. They created a lot of pressure, a lot of miscues on their offensive play calling. But again, what we talked about before was that just a week one, like you said, they came out, they wanted to win, they wanted to beat a division rival. So, I honestly, I see the Bengals. I see if you have Joe Burrow, Chase, Higgins, anybody on the Bengals offense, I see them having a bounce back week this week. Honestly, I really do.
Yeah, and also with that Bengals defense, man, Trey Hendrickson is still trying to get paid, man. He came out I don't know if he did a couple rails or whatever. He came out amped up last week and did 0. So I see him settling down this week, going a little bit harder in the paint. ETN's not getting 143 rushing yards today. I'm going to tell you that right now. He is. I think it was you that made a comment that, they get what's his name from freaking Tampa Bay. Now he's looking like Bucky Irvin, Not this week. It's not happening this week. The Bengals, we know them to have a crappy defense, and we know them to not be the best. They might as well be in the NFC South with how their team is set up. But at the same time, what they do have is an amazing offense. We didn't see it last week, but there's a difference when you're playing a team that you're going to beat, you can beat, and you are beating them in the game. So you start getting ahead on them, and you can run all over the place, right? You're going to run the ball because you have a big lead, as opposed to when you're playing a team that maybe you can run on their defense, but at the same time, you got to keep up scoring with their offense. Running becomes an afterthought real quick when you're having to try to throw the ball. So I think we're going to see a lot more passing. We're going to see Travis Hunter get a little bit more than 4 targets, and we're going to see him work on defense, right? Is he going to guard Jamar Chase? Is he guarding Jamar Chase? Oh, man, because that's what the goal is, right? If he's going to be a two-way, he's going to have to guard these Jamar Chases, these Justin Jeffersons of the league. So if that happens, oh, man, that could stress him on offense too. So we could see Brian Thomas having a big day too out of this game. But yeah, no, I think this Jaguars game is, I'm going in on Noah Fant. I think I saw enough of him last week to see that Joe Burrow is going to lean into him. And I know they got Gesicki. I know it's kind of the same way. They're kind of one and the same. I think if you see one of those guys out there close to the red zone, they're probably going to get the ball. So it's probably going to get split between them, which may suck. I don't know if we'll see a clear-cut winner between the two. But, gosh, if you don't think this Bengals defense isn't freaking nasty up and down the board, we're going to see some stuff from them, man. Last week was wild. And they're still 1-0, right? A win is a win, no matter how ugly. So I think this might be the season where they pull out enough of those ugly wins to actually squeak in, and nobody wants to see them in the playoffs because up and down, this team is just so deadly, so deadly. But I think it's going to be a good matchup because there's a lot of fantasy relevant players between the Jaguars and the Bengals today. I think you could probably start a team with the amount of fantasy relevant players. But with Trevor Lawrence, if you got another option, I would go with somebody else. I don't know if he's going to go off today. He didn't go off last week. All right. So keep it going. Get this bus rolling, man. So, y'all rolling with me? That was the Jaguars, the Bengals. How you feeling about that there, TJ? You got any players other than those guys we named that you're looking at from the Jaguars Bengals games? Any sleepers?
Nah, man. Nah, I pretty much agree with everything you said. I expect the Bengals offense to go off today, look way better than they did last week.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaguars, again, I don't really see, for some reason, 70 to 80 pops into my head for ETN. I don't know why. But yeah, I still see him having a productive day, a solid day. Definitely don't sleep on him. He'll probably get a couple receptions if you're in a PPR league. That's going to, obviously at stack points that way. So I definitely don't sleep on him or put him on the bench. He's going to have a solid day, but like you said earlier, don't expect him to go off for like 150 rushing yards again either.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your
right?
expectations tempered.
Well, and then and like you said, he's gonna get his yards. They're gonna feed him for sure. It looks like they're definitely trying to change the direction over there, and I feel it. You got Travis Hunter, so you got a new face of your team. So you're trying to really switch it away from Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't been doing a whole lot, I guess. But yeah, he's gonna get his yards. He's gonna get 70 to 80, maybe even get close to that 100-yard mark. But I just don't see him having a crazy day. And then if he does, then next week I'll be like, hey, Trevor Etienne for sure, handle it. But I just don't see it repeating. And which day it should repeat. This is the game it should repeat on. He has he's going up against an easy front or an easy defense, I say, in my opinion. So but it won't happen, guys. I take Chase Brown over Etienne today. All right, this next game is kind of the same thing, man. With Chicago and Detroit, kind of the same thing. Tale of two teams. We saw a Chicago team that was determined, came out against the divisional opponent, just ready to go. Knew the opponent they were going against, knew they were going against a younger quarterback, and kind of took advantage of that in the beginning of the game and kind of hit until the game drug on, and then seemed like they just reverted back to old ways. And then Detroit just kind of never really took off last week against a super determined Green Bay, who everybody is signing up to go to the Super Bowl right now after one game, which it's weird. For the past 2 weeks, all I heard was that Micah Parsons was hurt, and then the past 3 weeks, and then the past 2 weeks, all I see is Micah Parsons just dominating. So I don't know if he's like taking a shot or something, but anyway, that was a whole, I feel like Detroit thought Micah Parsons was hurt too, and they were just ready to go up against the Green Bay they knew, because they just got slapped in the mouth, and then and then their defense didn't do much either. Aiden Hutchinson, I see him having another same thing with like Trey Hendrickson. He didn't do anything. I think Aiden Hutchinson had maybe 2 tackles or something last week. We're gonna see a whole lot out of him. We're gonna see that defense really kind of lock it in today, especially going up against this Bears offense. If Caleb Williams comes out wearing that jockey T-shirt again under his jersey, I think they're in it to win it today. But same thing with this game as far as injuries. I don't think I saw really any fantasy relevant injuries on both sides of the ball. And that's a good thing about early season. You're not seeing a whole lot going on, luckily, too early. So, yeah, I didn't see really any fantasy relevant injuries. But I did see a lot of players that are going to eat in this game. Well, I did see some players that are going to eat in this game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think you can expect him to have a bounce back game today. I think we're just going to see this Detroit team just kind of shut down this Bears team and have a lot of opportunities on offense. I know that maybe sounds crazy, but we didn't even see Caleb Williams do a whole lot last week when they were going off. I mean, he had 218 yards. Or what did he have last week? He didn't have 218 yards. 210 yards for a tutty and a rushing tutty. I don't see him getting a rushing touchdown today. What do you think about Caleb Williams? How do you view him as a quarterback? Maybe are you looking at him fantasy wise?
I am looking at him as if you are in a pinch, start him, but you want to see a little bit more consistency out of him. I think he does have a solidly high ceiling, but right now you're going to get the good with the bad. You're going to get those bonehead turnovers, this and that. But part of that is also kind of the hand that he was dealt. I mean, we all know what went on last season. The Thanksgiving Day game was the boiling point, start of the turning point, then, if you will. So and throughout this season, with Ben Johnson, I think you're gonna start to see him steadily improve. But for right now, he's still kind of like a waiver quarterback to me. Unless you have to start him, maybe opt to not to, especially in a tough game like today against Detroit, because Campbell, man, he's fired up. He does not like being embarrassed like that. He worked hard the Lions up into this zone instead of in like the bottom barrel here. So they're rocking and rolling today. But I do think Caleb Williams, he's taken a lot of slack, but he is a lot better than people are willing to give him credit for. He just wasn't given a chance in his initial rookie system.
Yeah, as funny as you were talking about that, DraftKings was showing highlights from our NFL Network was showing highlights, and they showed the DraftKings odds. So Gibbs is a anytime scorer minus 175, meaning he's probably going to score at some point. But yeah, Caleb Williams is just, gosh, man, like I think he has to, I feel like he has to do really good this season, or he's going to be another one of those Bears quarterbacks who we're going to look back and be like, dang, it feels like he's been in the league for 6 or 7 years, but he's going into his 4th year on his 5th team. So I think he did himself a disservice. Like he said, he can't kick the ball too, right? You can't. Players already, I feel like, don't like rookie quarterbacks because they feel like, they think they're already God's gift to earth, that they're a rookie starting quarterback. But you can't be a rookie starting quarterback and then be dissing your teammates and your players openly in the media in your first season when you're not playing lights out. So I don't think he did himself any good last season, and I don't know. We'll see. It just feels like, like certain things will happen at the most inopportune times for the Bears that normally wouldn't or shouldn't happen. But I just wouldn't depend on Caleb Williams. I am not a fan of him, but I am a fan of the Lions. Jamar Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Laporta. I am a go on all those guys. Kind of similar to the Bengals, like. You just see certain teams and you can tell why they're as good as they are, man. They just have, not only the playmakers in the right positions, but then they have the playmakers in other positions too, in every other position, right? Like these guys have playmakers in every other position. Like they have their tight end playmakers stacked, right? They have their backup running back playmaker, not just a backup, right? You got, of course, you got your receivers. But they also have their number 2 receiver stacked, right? Like they know who they are, what direction they're going in. Their only problem is just having too many Chiefs. They have too many playmakers, right? So you never know who's going to get the ball. But they're all going to get the ball because it's Jared Goff spreading it around. He's like a super nice dude. And he's like, yeah, you get a ball, you get some yards. So this right here is a game where they're gonna eat. They're just licking their chops, ready to go up against these Bears. And I hope Caleb Williams is having somebody help him tie his shoelaces, because he ain't ready for what's gonna come at him today. If you need a defense to stream for today, I'd stream the Lions defense, and I just go with it because they're about to go off. Go off on them. Are you gonna be watching this game?
Yes, I actually have a bet in on Detroit to win it. So
There we go. Do you have your bets on the Shady Sports group on DraftKings?
I don't believe so. I actually just placed a bet while we were talking back and forth.
Was it the Jahmyr Gibbs anytime?
No,
No.
no. It was actually I did a 4-team parlay for the 1:00 games. Right now, DraftKings has the ghost leg bonus, where if you miss one, they'll nullify it, and you can still win your parlay overall, which is really awesome. Not to plug them or anything, but hey, it is what it is. They have awesome promos going on. Uh,
Right.
I
I think
picked,
I have that claim. How does it work?
you just opt in, and then in the betting, it'll have on the bottom of your bet slip the option to enter or to use that promo, and then you can just click it and it just like slides over like a digital button.
Mm-hmm.
And so if one, so I have right now, like I have a 4-leg parlay, 4-pick
Mhm.
parlay, whatever you want to call it. If one is wrong, but the other 3 are correct, I still win my parlay with just adjusted odds for the 3. So it's almost like a freebie. You get a mulligan if you mess up one. But I picked straight money line, 4 teams: Bengals, Rams, Lions, Cowboys. I think they all have reasons to come out and win today.
Mm-hmm.
Both the Bengals and Rams won close, scrappy games last week. I looked for both of them to move to 2-0, and the Lions and Cowboys coming off of some rough losses last week. I see them turning the tide and getting back to 1-1.
Okay. Yeah, I did an early morning. I did 2 early morning parlays. I did one on DraftKings, and it was a 6-pick parlay. So I did money lines. I did Buffalo, Callous. That's what I should call them. The Callous Doubt Boys. No, I did Buffalo,
Cowboys.
Dallas, Baltimore, Bengals, and then I picked Derrick Henry and Chase Brown anytime scores for that one.
Well,
So I feel
Henry's a
good on.
guarantee, so.
Yeah, that's what, especially with Derrick Henry, right? That what's his name on the Browns, talking trash, man. It's like, come on, bro, you guys are in the NFL. You don't need to create bulletin board material to hype yourself up. You gotta just go. Like, talk trash.
Usually the team that does that, it loses.
Well, they were gonna lose anyway, right?
Hey man, you never, that's the best part about September every year. You never know how teams are going to unfold. It's crazy.
Yep.
We don't know. For all we know, man, the Browns could be ready to go on a tear. We don't even know. Doubtful,
Oh,
but hey, you
man.
never know.
I don't know. I'm betting hard against them. I got another parlay on ESPN bet, 3-leg. And we'll just talk about that game after this, actually. So I got the Ravens. I got the over at 44.5 because I just feel like there was, what was it, like 80 points last week or something with them and the Bills. So and then
I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped another 40 burger today.
Yeah, and then the Browns went what? It was like 60 points overall with them and the Bengals. So I felt pretty good. I was like, both these teams showed they can kind of score in bunches. At least get down and get some field goals, not like Indiana State, right? Lose 73-0. You can't even get a field goal. Indiana State, you can't even get a field goal. You mean to tell me you couldn't get the ball to the 35-yard line, to your opponent's 35-yard line to kick a 56-yard field goal? You couldn't even get a Hail Mary of a field goal. You couldn't get 1 point. That's redonkulous. 73-0.
Tell you what, that was the first time in my life I've ever picked a team with plus 50 and they still lost by 30. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Man, that's ridiculous. I
I
thought
need
for
to
sure.
reevaluate their program at the end of the year. That's all I got to say.
I was like, dude, they'll get a field goal and a touchdown, and then the backups will come in, right? And then, backups come in, they play a little sloppy because they're not used to being in. It's ridiculous. Anyway, 73. I got a cash out option of 73 cents on this Broncos parlay, the $2 bet. But I got so back to that Ravens game. So yeah, over 44.5. I feel like it'll be pretty high scoring. I got Derrick Henry for 2+ touchdowns scored and 125 plus yards. So that's my Derrick Henry parlay for the day. I think he's gonna eat. So yeah, if you have Derrick Henry, you better start him today. If you're not starting him, you're redonkulous.
If you have Derrick Henry and you're not starting him every active game, you are crazy.
You're crazy. That last year I was a little, shaky on him, but last year he didn't have a challenge from Adam Sandler, so I think that's in the back of his head every game. It's like, gosh, freaking Happy Gilmore, call me out. Price is right. Price is right now. So who should I pick? Who should I pick? DK Metcalf, Ricky Pearsall, or Calvin Ridley? Half PPR. Well, I mean,
I could probably go DK.
Yeah, just looking at it, you saw it, and I'd go DK. I'd just go DK
because Rodgers was forcing a lot of passes to him, so he's going to get with the half PPR. He's going to get some points just off catches,
right? And I trust Rodgers over Mac Jones and Cam Ward, unfortunately. Although Cam Ward did look really, really, really good, and at the end of the game last week, I'd go DK. Over those guys for sure.
His receivers let him down, though, too, last week. Cam Ward should have had a better stat line. His receivers dropped a lot.
Calvin Ridley, dropping balls.
Yep.
All them guys, dropping balls. Chicken Kunkwe, or whatever his name is, dropping balls. Yeah, they dropped a lot of balls. But then Cam was throwing some darts, and they had no choice but to catch them. I know they said his passes are too hard, and they hurt their hands. And that's why I would stay away from Calvin Ridley. Yeah, man. If you got Derrick Henry, going back to that, I would ride with them all day. Speaking of the Ravens, I guess a report came out. The Ravens were going to draft Shador, but he told him he had no interest in backing up Lamar. Then fell to the 5th round. Ended up backing up Joe Flacco. Wild. That goes against the same, man. You're a rookie quarterback. There really ain't much for you to say until you win a Super Bowl. Just go to work. Just go to work. That's why I like Bo Nix. I don't see no claims and come out and say need to be this, need to be that. Got to go here. Just go to work. Just go to work.
I mean, I understand that it is not at all the way guys want it to be. But I mean, you even look at Jordan Love. He spent 3 or 4 years backing up Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Yep.
And he's admitted it sucked, but that stuff that he was able to learn, sit back and watch, everything else, that did him a lot of good, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think, even right now backing up Joe Flacco, Shador should be taking that opportunity and just learning as much as he can.
Yeah, and then you just look at it too, like no one cares about how soon you start in the NFL. Especially as a quarterback, maybe you should probably wait until your 5th or 6th season to start in the NFL, right? Look at Aaron Rodgers. He sat behind Brett Favre. And we're talking about dudes still in the league. They just had their 2013 Super Bowl reunion, and he couldn't attend because he's too busy throwing 4 touchdowns against the Jets, the team that he played for last season. So, yeah, I would not be so quick to jump into this league and play. And why do you want to play anyway when you're getting paid bananas compared to what you're going to get paid? Baker Mayfield still has a super nice check, right? Sam Darnold's still making pretty good money. You know, you just got to go through and just, like you said, soak it up. While he's behind Joe Flacco, just soak it up. The Ravens probably could have been the best position for him, especially if they knew, like, oh, well, we got Lamar. 1, he's probably going to get hurt at some point. 2, heck, look at Tyler Huntley. He got a shot to go down to Miami and get a chance. You get a shot. People see you, and that's all they need to see. If you're in a winning organization, they're going to look at you first. But I'm not, here to – it sucks if that was the reason that he dropped down. It didn't sound like any other teams were planning on drafting him. So I don't know if it was because he said he didn't want to play for the Ravens that dropped him down. But that is crazy. Speaking of the Ravens, though, yeah, you got Lamar Jackson. Play him. I'm not playing Joe Flacco. This Ravens defense is not the Browns defense. Or it's not the Cleveland defense or the Cincinnati. God bless, man. All these freaking same place teams, freaking Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, all you guys just got all these teams in the same place. Anyway, it's not the Bengals, right? It's the Ravens. Yeah, Buffalo had that comeback last week, but that was Buffalo. It's not the Browns. And I know I keep shuffling off teams and saying this and that, but TJ, like Joe Flacco ain't about to go out and go toe-to-toe with Lamar Jackson. He's gonna be too busy crying the whole time, right? Little old franchise, rah, 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 rah.
You know what, though? I mean, I don't know, though, because Joe Flacco, every now and then, man, he rises to the occasion. He did it a few times with the Colts last year, so you never know.
I was about
But
to say.
Do I honestly see it going like that? No, I see the Ravens winning, but
I was about to say, though, same difference as we said with Aaron Rodgers. He couldn't attend his team's Super Bowl reunion because he was too busy out there getting it done. It's cool to see. I guess Joe Flacco's still able to go out and do it. He couldn't do it when he came to the Broncos, but that's neither here nor there. And that's why I have no faith in him, no matter what he does. And, Jerry Jeudy did go off last week. He was a little shaky at first, but he did end the game pretty solid. So I'm still kind of high up on him as being at wide receiver 1. I think we're going to see a lot of Quinshon Judkins today. So if you drafted him, you can go ahead and throw him in flex and let him get some points because I think they're going to be trying to highlight him. They're trying to make him their running back, right? So not a Derrick Henry type game, but we might see Isaiah Pacheco type game out of him, I think. So you can go ahead and get, your 5 or 6, 7 fantasy points on your flex spot. And then that's Zay Flowers. He's probably the only other one I'd look at. Honestly, I'd probably stay away from Mark Andrews and Njoku. I really wouldn't look at too many players outside. So yeah, Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Jerry Jeudy, maybe if you need a second receiver or a flex.
I could see Mark Andrews, doing well. I mean, he's had a good history. Him and Lamar really connect well.
Mm-hmm.
And any good known receiving tight end is always a security blanket. And plus, especially after last week, they may want to do a little bit more tight end incorporation in the passing game. That way it slows the pace of the game down because I don't think they want to be getting into 40 or 50 point, arena style, shootouts week in and week out. So
not at all.
It might be a sneaky pick, maybe not this week, see how they do, but they might start incorporating Andrews even more in the offense like we've seen in previous years.
I can see that help them slow down the game even more, kind of shorten it because they you're not if they get in a shootout with the Browns are probably going to win. It's weird to say, but if they're toe to toe with the Browns towards the end of the game, I mean, I don't know, man. And I'm just looking at maybe just youth. The Browns just got a bit more. I'm scared of Myles Garrett if the Browns are in a close game, and obviously we saw it didn't necessarily work out last week, but it almost did. Right? So, Baltimore's proven that their defense can shut down halfway through the third quarter and forget they're playing a game. So, yeah, I feel for them, but yeah, I don't see a whole lot of fantasy stars out of this game. And then, all right, moving on, keeping it moving. A fun game. This right here is the game of the day, guys. I think this is the game everybody should be sitting down and watching this morning if you're watching it. And that's the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Game of the week, guys. Right, TJ?
I mean, I'm looking at the spread right now, and honestly, I don't know how the Cowboys are only 4.5-point favorites. You know,
I think
Russell Wilson is showing exactly who he is after last week, missing
mhm.
wide open guys in the end zone. What I called last year the flop sack. If a guy got within 3 yards of him, he just fell over and gave up. You know, just very aggravating to me. I don't see how Russell Wilson keeps getting the job in the NFL, man. I really don't. I'm seeing the Cowboys probably winning by 10-14 today. I mean, I'm going to be honest
Oh
with you.
man. Yeah, and then the Giants know Wan'Dale Robinson. He's missing out. I think he's probably the only fantasy relevant player from this game. But yeah, Russell, like you said, Russell Wilson's proven who he is. Giants are 32nd in scoring. They've allowed they're 17th in points per game allowed. So they allowed 21 points. But Dallas also allowed 24 points to the Eagles. They're 28th. The Giants are just not good, right? Like there's already talks about Jackson Dart coming in and playing. You know, they still have Jameson Williams. You know, so
Yeah, supposedly they were gonna see where they were at like the midpoint of the year, but I guess that may have been sped up to like the end of September now. So
yeah.
you can kind of already see where the tides are turning with that. But I mean, no, the Cowboys, man, I see CD Lamb making up for his multiple drops last week. I see Dak
Mhm.
Prescott going off a little bit. You know, those are probably the main two that I see going off. I see Prescott and Lamb kind of rejuvenating their connection
And I
after
see
last
that.
week's drops.
I agree with that too, just because George Pickens is over there doing his thing too. He didn't look like a slouch last week either. So I think they probably have one of the better receiver duos, and it's really going to show up on the field. But yeah, I don't see really anybody else. I probably wouldn't. Brandon Aubrey, you know, I'm playing him every time if I got him. I'm not even setting him. I don't care if they have a bye or not. I'm just going to leave him in because even on a bye week, he'll still get more points than most receivers. But yeah, I mean, I guess George Pickens too. So maybe if you need a flex receiver, if you're stressing for a second receiver in a larger league, I'd have Pickens right there ready to go. But yeah, just CeeDee Lamb. I don't see Javonte Williams having as much of an he's not getting 2 touchdowns this week, as he even with that crazy running game last week, he didn't even get to 50 yards. So I don't see Javonte Williams doing a whole lot. Tyrone Tracy, Scatterboo, maybe Tracy, just because. But, they got Russ back there. He's going to run it enough to where they're going to get tired of running. I mean, we see they had the greatest running back in the NFL, and they let him go. So they don't care about running in New York. They don't care about running backs. To quote Kanye West, they don't care about running backs.
How do you feel if you're the New York Giants, man? You let Saquon go. He has one of the best seasons ever. You let Danny Dimes go, and he shows up last week, man. You just want to give up. You really do just want to give up.
And I think it's even worse because didn't they extend Danny Dimes? They might even still be paying him right now.
I think they are. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I think it's like a Broncos Russell Wilson scenario kind of thing. Yeah.
And it's so weird because they literally did the Steelers quarterback situation with Russell Wilson. It's like teams are like, all right, Russ, I'm bringing you in, but don't worry. Don't pay attention to this. I'm also going to bring this other veteran in too, but don't worry. We're just going to put your name on the headlines, but we'll have this other veteran as well.
I can't even imagine how that conversation went. It was like, all right, Russ, we know it didn't work out with the Broncos or the Steelers, but here in New York, it's going to happen, even though we're the worst team yet out of the 3.
And we got Jameis, just to let you know. Oh, and we're going to draft a rookie quarterback too. Oh, and we're going to sign 20 more quarterbacks, but don't worry. We have faith in you. And I don't know, man. And Russ is just like, whatever. You're going to pay me? Okay. Let's go. Yo, we got these questions. Hey, and then thanks, We Be Wrestling, for your start set question. Guys, get those start set questions in. We Be Wrestling. Got Genie. Penix or Mahomes? Mahomes.
Who do the Falcons play?
The Falcons play the Vikings. So that could potentially be a shootout of young second-year, first-year quarterbacks, right? Battle of the second-year, first-year quarterbacks, new starters, new.
Yeah.
But
I
then,
mean,
huh?
I have to go with Penix.
I could see that. Mahomes looked good last week, but yeah, that I'm a lot more afraid of that Eagles defense than that Vikings defense. Caleb Williams have a decent chance against that Vikings defense. I think Drake London is going to have a really good game this week. He didn't do a whole lot last week, but he still got in the double digits. I mean, he was still he was around 13 points, so I'd have to look and see where that fell in the ranking for receivers. But I think Drake London. I don't think we're going to see Bijan get a whole lot. He's not taking a screen for 70 yards and a touchdown today. Maybe it's Bijan. He do whatever he wants in the backfield, right? The
Vikings like to pass rush. If they over pursue, they can run a delayed screen. It could hit.
Right, and then Drake London's playing. So Drake London, I know, is on the injury report. He's good to go for today. He's not. He might still be on the injury report, but he does. No, he actually doesn't have a designation for tonight. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can see Bijan do whatever he wants to do, and as long as they got him, I mean, he's the only running back who's still ranked in the top of the running backs, and he only had like 11 rushing yards last week. And he still came out with like 120 overall yards. So I think, I like that. I like going with Penix. We're seeing Mahomes kind of running out of options, it feels. And it's Mahomes, right? He's always going to do good. He's going to do amazing. But I don't know. It just feels like that water boy situation, right? Where he just can't coach against the other coach, right? Or something. It's like the Eagles just kind of, until they beat the Eagles, I got to assume that he can't beat the Eagles. So we'll see how it goes. I would probably. And that's weird to say because, I mean, Penix over Mahomes, I probably wouldn't even question that. I'm probably playing Mahomes, but, I mean, last year I was playing, Joe Burrow over Mahomes. Mahomes pretty subpar. But I don't know, he looked really good last week against the Chargers. He actually had decent stats. I think he was like number 7 or 8 in scoring for quarterbacks last week. Whereas Penix has the legs, and I think he just has a few more options. And like you said, a Minnesota defense that does like the pass rush. So I think once they open it up to the outside, it'll probably give him more chances to get it down the field to Drake London and those other guys.
Hey, sometimes in fantasy, man, all you need is that 130-yard quarterback run to get you your points,
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he had 28 points in my league, one of my leagues last week, 298 passing yards, 21 rushing yards. So going up against this Vikings team, maybe he picks up 10 more rushing yards, right? Maybe granted, maybe he doesn't have that screen pass to Bijan that gives him a large chunk of yards, but maybe he has that long throw to Drake London that opens up down the field once the running lanes open up. So I mean, he outdueled Pat Mahomes last week. Maybe I'll put him in again. Keep it going.
It's crazy, too, because you look at Patrick Mahomes from like 3 or 4 years ago and have the same conversation. It's not even a question.
Nope.
It's just crazy how quick things can flip on you.
Yep. And, I mean, especially, too, with Xavier Worthy's out. So they have Juju. They have Hollywood, yeah. They still have Travis Kelce. So they're still going to, got some options. But it's he's running out of options fast. We're starting to see some ugly throws from Pat Mahomes. Starting to see some more desperate plays, and there aren't a lot of open people, it feels like, on that offense. So I'm cool with starting Michael Penix, which is weird because, yeah, he's a second-year player. I'd probably start J.J. McCarthy over Pat Mahomes, to be completely honest. But looking at this game, just talk about it. Actually, I guess we can jump ahead to that game, Atlanta and Minnesota, while we're on it. And, I mean, there are some names you're looking at out of that. Yeah, if you got Michael Penix, you're probably starting him. J.J. McCarthy, I'm starting him today for sure, no hesitation. Justin Jefferson, I know he had, not the best week last week, but I'm playing him. And then that's probably about it though. That I'd be for sure playing from this game. All the other guys I'd put in, maybe flex or my second spots if I had them. And that's Drake London, that's Mooney, Adam Thielen, Aaron Jones. Oh, Bijan. I'm starting Bijan for sure. If you got Bijan, I think you're hitting that start button on him. And I think this will be a pretty solid Sunday night game. It's wild. Just
it's basically a pick'em game. So it's a great way to end the day today.
yeah.
One player that I really want to keep an eye on is Thielen. Obviously last week was his first week back after the trade and stuff. I'm looking to see, is he going to get closer to what he was able to provide, or is he kind of just there to be that veteran 2-3 catch a game maybe guy now?
Mm-hmm.
Because I really think if they can get him acclimated, that'll really heighten the offense. He's a great security blanket option for a young quarterback. So I'm looking to see, what are their intentions with him? Is he going to be able to produce for fantasy numbers, or is he just kind of that veteran presence?
Yeah, and I think in a real world, he was expected to be that 2 to 3 catch, maybe a game player. But then you got Jordan Addison out, right? Now he's expected to be that. I think he is that second receiver option. But I think also, too, what plays into that, I think J.J. McCarthy built up a lot of confidence. And in the game last week, he started off super shaky. And I think that had a lot to play into their receiver play. So I think we're probably going to see him probably even, on the verge of feeling like forcing the ball down the field to get it to his playmaker. So I think we will see. Because, let's see, Adam Thielen, let's see how many targets he had last week.
2 or 3.
So he had 1 target last week. I could potentially see him getting, probably 4 or 5 targets in the first half today, right? I don't know. I just feel like I could see them almost forcing the ball down the field a little bit more just to build off JJ McCarthy's confidence. And you got Jay Jetta, man. Like I said yesterday morning, we don't want to see Justin Jefferson catching passes from Cam Ward in 2 years. So you got to get the ball to them guys, man, and feed them. And that's going to take getting the ball to Adam Thielen a bit more. That's going to take a little bit more from Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, which is weird that they even let Jordan Mason just come in and take over that backfield. He couldn't even take over the backfield in the 49ers when CMC wasn't there and was hurt. So I don't see how this shows you. I don't know. It's just odd. I don't know why teams do the things that they do, even though they just paid Aaron Jones a bunch of money. But it is what it was, neither here nor there. You guys still rocking with us? If you are, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, head over to YouTube, whatever social media network you're on, but specifically head over to YouTube, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to us over here at Shady Sports Network. Just search Shady Sports Network and you will come across us. Yo, TJ, let's take a break really quick. I'm saying I'm random on this bus. We stop when we got to. Take a pee break. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share over to your friends. We will be right back.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Ooh, yes, sir. Nobody likes you. And you don't care, TJ. It's okay. You're an Eagles fan now, so that's for you, bro. That's for people like you to like those who's the real dirty bird? Is it the Eagles or is it the Falcons?
I mean, you got to give that one to the Atlanta Falcons. They had the dance, so.
Do they? I always thought it was. I don't know. For some reason, I always think it's the Eagles. I guess you're right. It's
Back in the Dan Reeves days, I think it was like the Dirty Bird with the flap in their wings and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Before they got beat by like 45 points by the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Hey, say it again. Say it louder for the ones in the back. Yo, and I was gonna say we'll talk about the Eagles game, but we got a couple. There's a few more games that are relevant in the morning. 49ers Saints. CMC teetering on the verge of being hurt, not hurt, but they have everybody else hurt, right? Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy,
Mac Jones
George
cited.
Kittle. Huh? What was that?
They're starting Mac Jones for the 49ers, I think.
Freaking wild. Starting Mac Jones against Spencer Rattler. This could possibly be the worst game of the day ever in the NFL in the history of the world.
It's going to be highly contested because of how awful both teams are going to be.
Yes. And the only person you're looking at maybe is CMC. And you're watching and saying, hopefully he doesn't get hurt.
I mean, Mac Jones, I think with Shanahan in that system, I think they'll look better. Mm-hmm. So I think really the MVP of this game is going to be if you have the 49ers defense, don't even think about it. If you have another defense, start them.
And actually, you're right, man. I think Mac Jones is going to be the Shanahan test. I don't think there is a backup that Shanahan has put in the past 2 years that hasn't gone out and excelled in that first game they were in. It feels like, it's definitely a plug and play offense, super user friendly. And Mac Jones he kind of did it last year with Jaguars, right? He kind of came in and looked a little bit better than Trevor Lawrence. I won't say that too loud. It wasn't not like it's too hard to do, look better than Trevor Lawrence. But I mean, it shouldn't be too much, it shouldn't be too bad. Spencer Rattler won his job, right? He went out there and beat out Tyler Shue, so he beat somebody, right? So
and I don't want to trash talk him because he's had a very interesting career, both collegiately, mainly at the collegiate level, jumping schools and stuff. He was supposed to be the next big guy, and then he kind of the spotlight shifted from him. I would love to see him go out and do great, but I mean, this Saints team right now, in my opinion, they're not built to win. They're in a very transitional. They're in the middle of probably like a 2 or 3 year rebuild right now.
Mm-hmm. They're in the middle of hoping for Arch Manning rebuild. They're hoping that Arch Manning's family is saying you got to go to the Saints because that's where you need to be. That's what they're banking on right now.
Arch Manning starts playing better. That's what they're hoping.
Yeah, no, Arch Manning. They're probably going to be like, oh, well, maybe we should wait for Marshall Manning to come out because Arch Manning is looking more and more like Kenny Pickett out there than Tom Brady. So,
how old are Drew Brees' kids? How long till they get drafted?
What, all 20 of them? I know he has a 1 in 19 chance to get one drafted. We'll see. Right. It looks like they're going to be receivers, though. Nobody wants to be a quarterback anymore. No, but nobody really from this game, other than CMC, that'll really be playing. Maybe Kamara as your flex or second running back position. Alrighty, another game. TJ's boys, the Steelers, or your ex-boo, the Steelers, against the Seahawks, man. Homecoming party for DK Metcalf, or I guess for the Seahawks since they're coming to see DK, right? Who's the home team? The Steelers. Anyway, if you dropped your starting quarterback and went and picked up Aaron Rodgers, then you better play him. You might as well play him. You dropped everybody you had to go get him. You went and traded for him like a genius. So go ahead and enjoy that. You have fun. I mean, they'll have a decent day today. They'll have a lot of opportunity, so I think that you'll see a pretty decent, but you're not seeing 4 touchdowns today from Aaron Rodgers. He may not even have the energy to toss 2 touchdowns, man. He still has a hangover from last week. He's moving a little slow. He's coming out. He's 41. And let me tell you, someone who's 41, I know how that feels. You're not trying to do this every single day. So I don't know. I don't think we'll see 4 touchdowns, but they have a chance to do it. Seattle's running game not looking entirely well, whereas Pittsburgh's running game isn't looking the best either. So a day of crappy running, a day of average quarterback play, and Aaron Rodgers is going to look phenomenal versus Sam Darnold. So it's like he's been on a revenge tour against quarterbacks that have played in the same teams as him. So I think we'll see a pretty good game from him, but I would probably just be looking at like maybe DK Metcalf, maybe JSN, as your receivers. And that's probably about it. Maybe Cooper Kupp as a second receiver flex spot, if you're feeling lucky. But yeah, I mean, just because both these defenses kind of prove they suck right now. All right. Gosh, TJ, we've been going at it for a minute, bruh. What are you feeling from this Steelers Seahawks game? Are you looking forward to anything out of it? Do you see any players? Maybe Roman Wilson has himself a day.
Yeah, honestly, man, I'm seeing a battle of the lines, offensive defensive lines. Sam Darnold, you saw it last week with the 49ers. Second half they started to get after him a little bit. The offense died off a lot. You could say the same thing too. The Steelers' offensive line has been a huge question mark for really the past 4 or 5 years now. If the Seahawks are able to create any pressure, we all know Aaron Rodgers, off that injury missing 2 years ago, he's not the quickest anymore. So if they can get after him, we could see a little bit of a defensive battle, which for fantasy numbers means not a lot of points in this one.
Nope. And that's how I feel. I'm not betting on anything in this game. I'm not probably looking towards this game for any fantasy players. I'm probably not even watching this game. It's just a whole blah game, I think. Not really too much coming out of it. So I think that's about it for the morning slate, which you usually get that chunk of games in the morning slate. There's going to be a good amount of starters. Oh, we got the Patriots and the Dolphins. Patriots and the Dolphins. I mean, I really like Drake May. I wouldn't start him, but I do like Jake May. So if you have him, I mean, I'm a fan of having him on the bench. Tua, I am staying away from Tua. I traded for Tua just before last week, thinking, oh, it'll be good. I got JJ McCarthy, Cam Ward. I'll have Tua there just in case those 2 young guys don't do good. And now I'm like, dang, what can I get for Tua? Who can I pick up? I almost dropped Tua for Danny Dimes. That's how crazy it is. And I'm still debating that. I'm waiting. I guess I'm waiting to see what happens today with Danny Dimes. But what's up with Miami? Are they just cooked all around? What's going on with that team, man?
I don't know. I don't know if they're cooked, but I mean, today I would definitely not start Tua or any really pretty much any offensive weapon. Vrabel as the head coach of New England this season. The Patriots, they didn't win last week, but man, they're going to play tough. They're going to be like that annoying team. Even if they're not that good, they're going to make you struggle and have to earn it. And that's basically what the Colts game plan was defensively last week against the Dolphins. And look what happened. So I think right now the Miami Dolphins are kind of caught in that gray area of, are we a hard-nosed offense or are we a finesse? And they're not hard-nosed enough to compete with, the tough style of play because they can get pushed around a little bit. So I would probably lean towards more the New England Patriots side, if anything. But again, man, it's only week 2. We haven't seen a lot, but I just don't see a lot of big-time fireworks going off in this game. I see this being a lower scoring kind of slugfest defensive divisional kind of matchup.
Yeah, same, man. I don't care about none of these players. Maybe Devon A-Chain. because he's all Miami has that's consistent, solid. And he had a solid week last week. He'll probably go off and have a decent week. But even like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, I'm fading those guys. I'm staying away from those guys. I'm not trying to use them if I don't have to, realistically. Just because, like, yeah, I mean, if Tua can't get the ball off, what are we gonna do? You know, if that line's not holding up, they can't even get the ball to Tyreek. You know, Tyreek's already in his head about his, you know, his domestic violence case, thinking about what chick he's gonna go beat up next, right? So, you know, it's I don't care about this game. Like I said, I'd probably look at Drake May because I got him on my bench, and I'm like, yeah, next season I'm starting him because he's gonna be the one to pop. You know, he's gonna be the quarterback from this bunch that everybody's like, dang, didn't think he was gonna be there still, and look at him still dominating. So I really like Drake May. I just, you know, nobody else I'm looking at from this. Stephon Diggs, if you need him, you probably got him as a flex. You probably picked him up in like the 5th or the 6th round because he was still there. Like, oh, there's Stephon, right? So, but it's a game. It's going to be played. I think Miami might actually win this game. That's what I was saying. I feel like the Jets have a chance to kind of squeeze in if they can hang on in this division. They kind of have a chance to kind of maybe sneak into somewhere because they're just going to beat up on each other. Even the Bills are going to, you know, turn into that remedial team whenever they play one of these AFC North teams. I don't know. That's just what they do. They just can't play each other. You know, next thing you know is like week 17 and, you know, one of them are playing for that second playoff spot somehow in the AFC somewhere. So as long as they can hang on, they might have a chance. But this game, I don't know. Yeah, it's a game. But, man, the midday slate, the 4 o'clock Eastern slate or 2 o'clock Mountain Time slate is where it's at. I think there's only like 3 games, but they're the best games, man. You started off, you got the Broncos playing against them Colts. That's going to be at 2:05 Denver time. And that game, it's weird, man. I was not last season. I was like, I'm not starting any Broncos players. I wouldn't play any of them. They were like the Dolphins or the Patriots, like not playing none of them. But this season, I'm like, man, Cortland Sutton got glue in his gloves or something. I'm starting Cortland Sutton if I got him. I'm starting him every week if I got him.
Absolutely.
You know, and then their running backs. I mean, shoot, RJ Harvey has 70 yards, right? And then you look, J.K. Dobbins had almost 70 yards, I think, if not more. J.K. Dobbins absolutely went off.
I have a lot of stock in his rookie card, so he can keep going off this season.
J.K.? Hey, man, I saw somewhere they said J.K. would be Saquon Barkley had he not had the injuries. And it was like, you know what?
I mean, he was really hot in Baltimore for that season or two before injuries hit him.
That's what I was about to say. Like, he was, you know, I feel like the only reason they get Derrick Henry is because of the injuries. Like, no injuries. Derrick Henry's not in Baltimore right now. So, yeah.
Lamar Jackson just doesn't even have to pass at all. He can just hand it to Henry and DK or JK and just boom.
That would be redonkulous right there.
So like a 300-yard a game offense on the ground. My God.
God, that's about what they have anyway. Just hand it off to Derrick Henry and Lamar.
Yeah.
like pick your poison still. So imagine with JK back there, and that's what the Broncos are trying to build, man. They just got to remember. Yeah, all week I was like, 9 times in the first half, man. That's how do you do that? But then I'm playing, you know, CFB 26. And I mean, I got it not all the way up, but I got to sit on 12-minute quarters. And I look down and I've only run 10 times in the first half. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's how you do it. Like, it's not hard to do, but it's not easy to do. I mean, but it's not hard to do either. So, yeah, see, Pat Mahomes ain't running over nobody for I think people are going to start. Sorry, I'm looking at game day. I think people are going to start smashing Pat Mahomes, man. He does that little sideline trick when he's running. I think people are just going to start just dogging him. But yeah, no, I like J.K. Dobbins. I like Bo Nix. I like Cortland Sutton from this game. I'm just really looking for Evan Ingram to pop. I'm waiting for Evan Ingram to pop. I know he has a little minor injury, but I'm just looking for him to have his day. I got faith in him. That's so weird. It's just like I'm looking at Broncos players like, okay, I know this player is going to pop. So I'm going to hold on to him. Just like I got Shador just sitting on my bench. Just sitting on my bench somewhere. And I don't even know why. He's in like a redraft league. I don't even know why I got him. Like, you know what? He's going to pop next season. So you got to have faith. But I got Danny Dimes. If you got Danny Dimes, you dropped your starter, go ahead and use him because you're gonna be really mad. You're gonna be really mad after today, man. He is not going up against. They didn't even have Jalen Ramsey. They traded Jalen Ramsey away with the Dolphins. So all I know is Pat Surtain did not allow a catch last week. All I know is Riley Moss only allowed 21 yards. Jade Barron had a scoop and score. Hufunga caused the fumble, had like 16 tackles. It's a different defense, man. This is not the Miami Dolphins defense. That's all I'm saying. So I'd be hesitant on starting Danny. I mean, it's Daniel Jones. Why are we even like, should I start Daniel Jones? This is ridiculous. Get out of here. So, I mean, the Colts, Michael Pittman, though. I feel like he's probably going to get like 30 yards when he's not, and they're going to have to move him around so Pat Surtain's not on him, but he's going to get a couple yards. But I'm not really starting anybody. Carlos Bob, jump off topic. So Igbuka or T-Mac? Who's T-Mac? Who is that, TJ? Remind me. I should have looked at it. T-Mac. I'm like Tracy McGrady. Oh, Tet McMillan. Gosh. Oh, his name's not MAC. Oh, man. You know what? That's a good one. I mean, if I tell you what, with the Buccaneers, if anything, Baker's gonna look around. So I don't know if Igbuka is gonna have 2 touchdowns again today. I don't see him. He did have a really good game, but I mean, if your options are Tet McMillan and Emeka Egbuka, I don't know.
I'd say ride with the hot hands.
Ride with the hot hand, man. Ride with the hot hand. I was trying to pull up Tet McMillan's stats. I don't know what he did last week, but I know they lost, right? He didn't do a whole lot. He had 11.8 PPR points, so that's actually pretty good for a week 1. He had 5 of 9 targets for 68 yards, so that's actually pretty good. Who's Carolina playing today? Arizona. Oh gosh, I'm just stick with the hot hand. Igbuka sounds good, right? I think either one of you probably won't be mad, but
2 out of 5.
PPR start 2 out of 5. T-Mac, Jacob. Why is everybody looking at Tet? See, maybe you want to go with Tet McMillan, Carlos. Everybody else is looking at him. He's a known commodity right now. I just feel like Baker Mayfield's going to pass the ball around a little bit more. They're still got to get their tight end involved. But I don't know. I think he just starts a good start. But what up, though? 417 PPR. I would not be starting Javonte. Take that out. Take Javonte out. I don't know why people are. That's like Danny Dimes. When people are like, oh, one good game is gonna. No, it's not gonna continue. And then if it continues next week, I'll be like, oh, well, I was wrong. But I don't think I'll be wrong.
You could probably take off Hollywood Brown too.
You think so?
He's just so inconsistent.
It's super inconsistent. I was gonna say he'll probably get more targets, but at the same time, too, though, I feel like they're probably going to try to use Juju a bit more, having a full week to get him worked in, too. And Travis Kelce is still going to get his. He's probably going to get more than 4 targets in a full game without Xavier Worthy. Jacoby, he's the starting receiver over there. Brock Bowers, this is a little hurt, a little banged up. And Gino was slanging it last week, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Gino still ain't writing y'all back. He don't even know how to write at this point. So that's a good option.
I'd probably go with T-Mac and Jacoby.
Yeah, I like that. I like T-Mac and Jacoby too, because I was gonna say DJ. I mean, you got so many mouths to feed over there in Chicago. I know DJ is a known commodity and he's gonna get his, but they that tight end over there is looking good. Who's it? Colston Loveland. He's been going off. You know, gosh, yeah. T-Mac and Jacoby sounds good. I like them options. I like them. I like them a lot. So let me see. Let's get that. Little John likes it too.
Yeah!
So, alrighty, guys. Remember, scare money don't make no money. So go ahead and put in T-Mac and ride him to the championship and be like, oh, you guys were right. You just had to put him in, and it worked out. Back to this Broncos game, though. Yeah, I got a good amount of players. As far as injuries, not really too many fantasy relevant injuries. Broncos still waiting for Drake Greenlaw to come get that defense going, but you know, that defense is still phenomenal and great without him. And then on the Colts side, nothing really too crazy to look out for. But I still got, yeah, I see a good game from the Broncos just based off the fact I feel like their offense will have a bit more, a couple more chances to go out there and show what they can do. And it's the Broncos. I mean, I'll homer it up. I like the guys, man. Orange and blue is good. So I'm ready to see how that play out. You going to be watching this game, or is there any players you got on any of these teams that you're using?
Yeah. You know, I'm actually gonna do a little bit of a Dak or Bo Nix. Oh boy.
Well, I was just hoping
just speaking of the game we have, I do want to have one of those book it moments because I'm going to say Bo Nix will outduel Danny Dimes today.
There we go. I'm with that. I actually have a parlay on today's game. I have a 5-leg parlay on today's game. So on the Broncos, I got it under 43.5. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I mean, what was it, like 13-17, 13-22 last week or something like that? I don't see. Granted, the Titans were getting down there and getting field goals, right? It was tied up for a moment there, right? So, but I don't see the Colts just kind of. I do see Jonathan Taylor going off. So anyway, I got the under 45, under 43.5. I got Jonathan Taylor scoring a touchdown, at least one, which I hope not, but I think so. I got RJ Harvey going for more 35 yards or more. Cortland Sutton for 50+ receiving yards and Jonathan Taylor for 60+ rushing yards. So I got Jonathan Taylor getting his and going off on us, but then I got Cortland having a solid day and RJ Harvey having a not breaking off a big run, but still having some good carries. So Bo Nix or Dak, oh gosh. Probably go Bo, bro. I'm going Bo all day. Where are you going to go, Bo Nix or Dak? What kind of question is that you coming out asking me that ridiculous question? What up, though? What up with that? Bo Nix or Dak. But, I mean, Dak actually, you know, came out on point to start that game last week. I think in the first half, we were like, dang, right? Like, they're all talking about how ripped he is and how jacked he came back and yacked up. Dak ready to go. And then the Eagles made their adjustment. And we're like, okay. That's who it is. This year's Dak turned out to be last year's Dak. Same thing. Bo Nix came out and we're like, dang, he looks like a second-year quarterback, man. Is that Danny Dimes? So I think I'd probably go Dak, to be honest with you, if I'd see what he did. I think he has. Against the Giants?
I don't know, man.
Against the Giants? You don't think so?
I mean, I honestly, man, I think it's a toss-up just because they both play. They're both playing kind of easier opponents.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think either way you go, you have a shot to hit. I mean, they might end the day within 2 or 3 points of each other. Like, they might be comparable either way. That's a really hard one. I mean, I'll go with Dak because he's older and name recognition, but I don't think Bo Nix is going to be that far behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I feel like Dak has George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, right? They're playing against the Giants. Is it at home? Is it in Dallas? Because if it's in Dallas, then that could hinder it because CeeDee Lamb cannot see in his own stadium for some reason. He can't see.
It is in Dallas.
And those lights are too bright for him in there, remember? So hopefully Dak doesn't throw the ball too high, or we'll see him drop passes a little bit sooner than the third quarter. But I just say because I feel like Dak has a couple more reliable options. Just having George Pickens, that gives him that one more reliable option. Whereas Bo, he has Cortland Sutton. Nobody else is really getting open right now. I feel like I kept hearing we're going to see a lot of Troy Franklin this game, but who knows? Like, I think they're going to be I think Sean Payton is going to have, we're going to see that playlist again where it says, remember to run the ball, where he specifically puts it on the back so the TV camera can catch it and shows it on the screen again. And we're going to see them purposely running the ball a lot more. Which in case it could open up a lot for Bo Nix. I think we're going to see a little bit better too from Bo Nix this week than we saw last week. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just stick with Dak on this one and see how it rides out, just because, like you said, he is a little bit older. I don't know, a little bit more experience, and I just feel like it
really comes down to if CeeDee Lamb can actually catch this week or not.
That's true.
That'll be a big help.
True. But even with CeeDee Lamb dropping half the passes, it's still 1.5 more pass. So it's a half more pass catcher than Cortland Sutton. We didn't have anybody else catching the ball last week for the Broncos. So I don't even know. Bo Nix threw the ball 42 times, and Cortland Sutton caught 23 of the 25, passes he had, it felt like. So hopefully we do see a bit more of Evan Ingram or second pass catcher out of the Broncos, but until then, I don't know. Bo Nix just he had a decent week last week. It wasn't like he had a slouch of a week. I mean, he still did really good. Let's see. 8.84 PPR points. That's good, right? 8.84, right? When you got quarterbacks getting like 16, 17 points, right? He was projected to get 20.32 points, and he got 8 points in PPR. So not the best of weeks, but I don't see him having that bad of a week as well. And then, like you said, I do see him out dueling Danny Dimes. So in which case, that'll have to put him up there. He's going to be up there in like the 260, 280 passing yard range with at least, 2 tutties. I don't see him throwing 2-3 interceptions again this week. Whereas Dak Prescott, he got 7.82 points. He was projected to get 20 points. So he started out, looked like he was hot, and just didn't do really anything. But this week, he is projected to get another 20 points going up against the Giants. So I don't know. I think either way you go, you're screwed. There you go. Bo Nix against Tennessee has to be the play. What? Bo Nix went against Tennessee last week and was not the play. It was, I don't even know what to say it was. I had to turn the game off. It was too much for me to handle. I'm about to pull a TJ and find a different team. Man, I'm already following Florida International in the college ranks. I'm getting pulled. I'm orange and blue for life, man. I'll stick with the Gators, but gosh, Florida International, their schedule is looking a lot more better to watch than to watch the Gators.
Hey man, you got to put up with a half decade of frustration before you give up. All right.
What are you talking about? I have put up with a half decade of frustration. I feel like I've been frustrated since Chris Leak was the quarterback with Tim Tebow, and that was the last time they won a championship. What was that, like 2012? 2012. It was the season you saw no team work harder. Something like that. But they just, so I put up with it, man.
Wasn't that the year you had Hernandez on your roster too?
Yep. Hernandez, Percy Harvin. And that was the year they went back to back to back because they won the basketball championship back to back, and they had the football, caked in between. So that's when the Gators was like, man, we're about to be good forever, and just haven't done anything since. So yeah, no, these Broncos got to really turn it around. They are a lot better. They're lucky to have a really great defense, right? So, yeah, Joe Burrow had 7 points, and so Bo is fine. I don't know if I would say Bo Nix is Joe Burrow, but he is good. He's really good for sure. Sutton or Garrett Wilson?
Garrett Wilson.
Man. Oh, what? I was gonna say I'm just stuck on Sutton all day, but especially if Justin Fields is running and throwing the ball like that, Garrett Wilson could have himself a day. Let's see, 22.5 points last week.
And a scrambling quarterback, the more he runs around, the more option Wilson has to get open in the end zone. That's an easy major points right there in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I
He had 9 targets.
You got to go with Wilson because of the quarterback option.
Yeah, he had 9 targets last week. I could see him getting just as many, if not more. Especially playing against the Bills, they're gonna have to throw the ball, right? Justin Fields will have to. He can't run all day against the Bills and expect to keep up. He needs to watch how Josh Allen plays and probably mimic and do exactly what he does. If I were Justin Fields, I would just sit on the sideline, watch Josh Allen, just do that when I go out there, right? No, but Cortland Sutton had 18.1 points. He had 9 targets himself, 9 targets himself. So, same thing. I could see him getting around 9 to 12 targets again today, and kind of having that same opportunity. He just didn't haul in as many. There was one I think that was over his head. And I think Bo Nix will settle down. He had 19 snaps off season. Right, he played 19 plays in the preseason. It's a second-year play, so he's gonna settle into it. I think Cortland Sutton's gonna continue to get all those receptions, especially with Evan Ingram being banged up. But yeah, I think Garrett Wilson is a bit more sure-handed. I don't know, man. That's a good one. I'd probably play Sutton.
That's a good problem to have, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's
a very good problem to have. I would probably be I think either one you're gonna be good. Seeing if the Colts have their starting cornerback out, I think that just means Sutton's gonna eat. He's shown it doesn't matter who he's going up against. Bo Nix is not afraid to throw him the ball. They just paid him a lot of money to make a lot of catches, so he's ready to go out there and play. So I don't think I think you have a pretty good lineup. I mean, who's your other receivers, right? If you're questioning between Sutton and Garrett Wilson, I'm guessing it's for your second spot, right? So who's your number 1 receiver? I'd like to see. Talking to War Eagle, and then let's see. I like that. What up, though? I'm all about that. I know Bo's gonna have a bounce, but I'm all about Bo Nix for sure. Speaking of that, another afternoon game, the Kansas City She-Devils versus the Eagles. I think TJ, is there anyone you look? I think you can start probably everyone in this game, right? On the Eagles side.
This is one of those like hot games, man, where pretty much it's probably going to be a heavyweight bout. I see it being more on the offensive side, higher scoring games. So if you have Eagles or Kansas City Chiefs players, it's probably going to be a little bit of a shootout, in my opinion. So you're going to see a lot of opportunity, a lot of targets, a lot of catches, things like that, a lot of running attempts, touchdowns. I think this game is one of those hotbed games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're gonna see Kansas City look to run it a bit more. Just to kind of, they've been watching and rewatching the Super Bowl from last year over and over and over, trying to figure out what went wrong. And I think they're going to be pressed to kind of prove that wasn't them. I think Pat Mahomes is probably pressed to prove that wasn't him. That wasn't how he played, and they're just going to play a little bit harder for sure. And then you're going to see the Eagles look to get their other playmakers involved, I feel like, in this game. So I have no problem kind of starting any of the starters in this game as my starter for the most part. Sucks. Godare is out. He's probably the biggest name. Goldert. I don't know how to say Yogurt's name. Dallas Yogurt. He's probably the biggest name, I'd say. Goddard. He's the biggest name that's hurt in this game, I'd say. And then, well, obviously, Xavier Worthy on the Chiefs side, Rasheed Rice is still out, right? Kansas City, man, they always find a way to revert their lineup to look like 2015, no matter what they're doing. I don't know how they managed to do that over and over and over and over again. But yeah, no, anybody on the Eagles side?
Humpback.
Huh? Oh yeah, they got Kareem Hunt.
Humpback.
And he is looking, he's serviceable. If you need a second or a flex running back, you know, you could probably even use him. I think they're gonna be running the ball a lot today. Juju, Hollywood Brown. You wouldn't normally use them, but I'd probably look to put him in a flex spot this week. War Eagle said Malik Neighbors and Nico Collins are his 1 and 2. I like it. I don't know how you got Neighbors and Nico. I feel like they would have been drafted.
I was going to say, man, my guy over here, man, you are stacked at wide receiver.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, how did you get all these wide receivers? What are you playing in a 2-person league?
He had like the last pick in the first round and the first pick in the second round. He just decided wide receiver, boom, boom.
I like that. I mean, hey, if you can get points and the running backs are gone, I'd do it too. You know, in a snake draft for sure. That's probably a good pickup, actually. That's a good turnaround. Who's your quarterback? I'd be anxious to see who your quarterback is.
If he comes back with an all-star quarterback, I'm just gonna be like, dude, you're winning the league. He was pick 9 in a 10. Pick 9. I see his comment below. Pick 9 in a 10-man league. So yeah, he was basically back-to-back picks. That's how we got it.
That's
smart play, my man. Smart play.
That is smart play. Yeah.
But for the Eagles side though, definitely 2 receiving threats. Definitely pay attention to Goddard because he was being thrown to often and he was catching often last week. I had a bet for 6+ receptions. He had it by the midway through the third quarter already. So
isn't he out?
There's that. And then I would definitely go with AJ Brown because they're going to focus. They're going to try and feed him early, if not often, then throughout the game after, just because of last week's performance.
Yeah.
They want to get him involved and make him happy because he was probably a little PO'd last week after his lackluster performance. So.
No, Dallas Goedert is out, isn't he? Yeah, he is out. I guess I got him on my
Goddard's
team.
out?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm playing Evan Ingram in place of him today. Let me see.
So AJ Brown's definitely going to get targets then today.
I got him in IR, man. My IR spot. Knee ruled out today. He has a knee sprain. Grant Calcaterra and Kyle Granson will see more opportunity, but they will remain off the fantasy radar. AJ Brown, Devonta Smith should see more as a result.
Yeah. And honestly, whoever they have listed as their starting tight end in replacement of Goddard, I would, if you had a shot to pick him up as a flyer, I would have done that because even with Goddard being out now, you are still a tight end friendly offense. That's your security blanket. Hurts is going to throw it to you. If you can prove that you can catch it and supplement while Goddard's out, he will continue to throw to you.
Yeah. Hurts don't like AJ Brown for some reason. He's like, trade this guy. Why is he still here? But he knows he needs him there. That creates the. Oh, Juwan Jennings is active for week 2. Oh, this guy's Bo Nix and JJ McCarthy. That's a pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, because you're probably playing JJ. And Bo Nix, waiting for Bo Nix to come back around. Right. I think that's how I would play it out. I don't think you can go wrong with that because by the time maybe JJ hits a wall, if he does hit a wall, then you see Bo Nix starting to come around and start to hit his stride. So yeah, that's a pretty solid team you got, man. Who you got for your running backs and tight end. I'd love to hear that. See who you got. Moving on with the rest of the games. So there's one more game in that 2:00 slate, but no one's probably gonna be watching it, right? That's the Panthers and the Cardinals. Woo! Oh, well, somebody be watching, right? What up, though? Don't you got Oh, you don't got T-Mac. Do you got T-Mac? No. Who was that? Carlos Bob. Oh yeah, what up, though? You do got T-Mac. So you're gonna be watching this Panthers game, right? Watching it with cruel intentions. Getting mad, but they're gonna have to throw the ball around to keep up with the Cardinals. So T-Mac may have a good game. Chuba's probably gonna go off. I think he's gonna build off last week. He didn't do a whole lot, but he did get his carries. So he's gonna get a lot more carries this week going against a Cardinals team who doesn't know who their running back is. And maybe their defense kind of allows a bit more. So I think we're gonna see a lot more out of Chuba. Bryce Young, man, I like him. I just would never have him on my fantasy team. Yet, right? Thought I would never have Baker Mayfield. He's popping up on people's teams nowadays. So who knows what's gonna happen in 4 or 5 years when these players end up on their third team, right? So I don't have Bryce Young as of yet. And Kyler Murray, man, he had 2 tutties last week. Kyler Murray, you got Kyler Murray, you're just roughing it. You're out here thugging it in the fantasy football world. You got long hair. You do not care. That's all I'm going to say. You got Kyler Murray. You probably got Bryce Young as your backup. Probably. Like, that's probably how your team looks.
I was just going to say that's a good question to ask the viewers. Like, who would you rather be stuck with at quarterback, Murray or Young?
Probably Murray, right? I mean,
he's shown flashes and he's had good games at least. Young, he's done decent, but I mean, I don't really think he's ever. I mean, I think he's had maybe one really good game, but you'd have to go with Murray just because of the more experience level. But I mean, either way, man, this is like a preseason game in the regular season to me. I mean, this is. There really ain't nothing good. If you're watching this game, you either drafted horribly wrong or you had the injury bug and you had no choice but to pick up guys from this game. Like,
or you got T-Mac. He's a solid wide receiver 1, right? He's gonna get his. But you're right. I mean, well, Bryce Young outscored Dak Prescott and Bo Nix last week. So there's that.
That wasn't hard to do though.
Right? I mean, he outscored him by like 3 points. But you're right. He had 1, 2, 3 games last year where he went over 20 points. One of those games he went over 30 at 36 points. And then he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more games where he went over 15 points. So 8 games where he went over 15 points, and then the rest of them were, he had a couple of goose eggs where I guess he was out, maybe hurt, didn't play for some reason. And he had a 2.96 game. He had a 3.12 score game. So it really is his second season. We'll see what happens. I guess those are maybe games he was switched out because it wasn't looking so good. But I think he's having a solid. I wouldn't be using Bryce Young. I wouldn't be using Kyler Murray if I didn't have to. Kyler Murray, you probably waited until the 12th or 13th round, and then you picked up your quarterback, and Kyler Murray was there. In which case, he has Trey McBride, he has Marvin Harrison Jr., he has James Conner. They don't know who their running back is, but they have a solid stable of running backs. So, I'd rather go Kyler Murray, I think. War Eagle says his lineup today is quarterback Bo Nix, running backs A-Chain and Swift, wide receivers Neighbors and Nico, tight end McBride, flex Garrett Wilson, bench Dylan Sampson, JJ McCarthy, and Dalton Kincaid. Dang, man. What? How did you draft
McBride instead of Kincaid?
Yeah. How did you draft this team?
You got both those tight ends? Wow, that was good, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got
Really
Garrett Wilson as your flex.
The only thing you can really complain about is maybe running backs, but it's still a solid lineup.
Yeah,
You literally don't have a weak spot at all.
Not really until A-Chain gets hurt. Swift was probably gonna get replaced, even though he's running for his life. That's his contract season. Yeah, and you got Sutton, so you got the flex spot lined up, or wide receivers lined up. Nico hopefully doesn't get hurt. Neighbors, they'll just figure out who their quarterback is, but he's quarterback proof. So I love that all day. And then same thing with Garrett Wilson. He's starting to come around with, man, this is a solid team. And I would probably put JJ McCarthy. Well, I guess I'd keep, I don't know. I'd keep Nix in just to see. Make sure JJ has his feet up under him, right? Which, who knows? You can't tell.
I have faith in Bo Nix.
I got all the faith in Bo Nix, man. All the faith in Bo Nix until I got to have faith in Bo Nix. I believe. Do you believe?
He's your quarterback.
He is my quarterback, darn it. My Joe Montana. So.
He ain't as good as Hurts, but hey, it is what it is.
Whoa, you're right. I will not argue with you there. True. Yet. He ain't as good as Hurts yet. When did Hurts go to his first Super Bowl?
Year 2 or 3.
Year 2? I think it was year 3, actually.
Yeah, year 2 or 3, and then last year was year 5. So yeah, exactly. Like year 3 and 5.
So stick with me here. Bo Nix goes to the Super Bowl year 2 this season after they beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. They lose to the Super Bowl against Micah Parsons because the NFL has to stick it to Jerry over there, Jerry World. So they lose to Green Bay in the Super Bowl, right? That's year 2 loss. Fast forward to year 5. What is that? 3 years from now? That's 2028. So year 7, 2031. New Broncos Stadium is built. Super Bowl's here in Denver. Boom. I guess we can't do that though. Technically,
if this happens in 5 years, man, I tell you what.
I guess we can't do that though, because you have to wait 5 years after your stadium. How long do you have to wait after your stadium is built before you can have a Super Bowl there?
I think they like to try and do it right away. That way, it's still brand new, state of the art.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess that's what happened with the Rams. The Rams won the Super Bowl in their stadium.
Yeah, and it was only like the first or second year maybe that they were playing in it. Maybe
Broncos going to do the same thing. Didn't Tampa Bay do that too? Tampa Bay won in their stadium.
Tampa Bay, they were the first team to win it in their home stadium. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Broncos going to win it in their new stadium. I guess it'll just have to wait a little longer because the stadium won't be built till like 2030, 2031.
I'm booking it.
Steelers
will win a playoff game by 2050.
Gosh. They will get back to winning playoff games, right? Because they're about to have a losing season.
I hope so.
It sucks. Who's going to be their next coach?
Doesn't matter. I just hope he knows actually how to coach and not just say stupid, witty sayings in press conferences.
Hey, Mike Tomlin, wasn't he like the youngest coach to win the Super Bowl?
The standard, yeah. The standard is the standard. We don't do anything to back that up, but it's fun to say to the camera.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes it's time to mix it up, right? Sometimes the voice has been heard too long and it's just too stale. I mean, look at Andy Reid, right? He was taking Philly to the Super Bowl, it felt like almost every season. And it took 3 coaches later for them to finally break through and win the Super Bowl. So sometimes you just got to switch it up and get a new voice in there, but hopefully they don't, because hopefully they don't fall into hopefully they don't get stuck into, looking for a coach where they're looking every year, right? Like they have been with the quarterback, because they were a sign of consistency for years, right? They just take one quarterback, roll to another one, keep it moving. Take one coach, roll to another one, keep it moving. And then Roethlisberger retired and they felt like the Chicago Bears, as we talked about earlier in the episode, going through quarterbacks, rotating through quarterbacks, drafting quarterbacks in every round of the draft.
Bears. They had Fields and they gave up on him prematurely.
Yep. Yep. Whereas, well,
Not
who
even
the
giving him
Steelers
any
give up
roster
on?
help.
Oh, they had Fields. They had Fields too.
Yeah.
Literally the Bears. They're literally following in the path of the Bears. They follow in the direction of the Bears. They went and got Fields from the Bears. They're like, okay, this is an organization we should get a player from. And he was a good player too. And they still like
They got
Browns it up.
Trubisky the year before.
Yeah, I don't like Trubisky anyway. But he took him to the playoffs.
I was really big on Trubisky, but after a year in Pittsburgh, yeah, he can go away. I don't like him anymore.
Yeah, it's oh yeah, they had Trubisky from the Bears. They're just turning into the Bears. Stupid.
So Caleb Williams will be the Steelers quarterback in 2 to 3 years, everyone. Breaking news.
Yep. Calling it now. Yeah, so that's it on that game. And then we already talked about the Vikings game.
Monday night doubleheader action.
Yay. And they're just on, so you're forced to watch the games on Monday night, right? The Buccaneers and Texans game should be exciting.
That'll be a good one. I'll be excited to see Baker, Evans.
Igbuka, see what he does. I'm expecting
if Tank Dell can get back in it.
Well, Tank Dell's out for the season, isn't he? Is he playing? I thought he was
Ready?
out. He's on a PUP. Yeah, he's expected to miss the whole season.
God damn.
Yeah. They put him on the he'll probably miss the whole season. He ain't coming back. But you know, they got Nico. Nico's gonna eat.
Yeah.
I like Nico. I like Nico in this game. I like Mike Evans.
This is a big season for CJ Stroud too.
Yeah, which sucks because he only has 2 receivers. He has Nico and Dalton Schultz, which Dalton Schultz never helps. So Nick Chubb is their starting running back. It's a whole different Texans team from what we thought we saw 2 seasons ago. I think Bucky Irvin will have a bounce back this week. He didn't look the best last week, but I think he'll come out swinging this week. I think Cade Otton will have a bounce back week this week. I think we'll see a lot more out of him. That's why I'm like, I don't know about Amika having the best week, but I do think Cade Otton will have a bounce back week. We'll see him come out swinging Monday night. And then that other game, are you going to be watching the Chargers Raiders?
Oh, yeah.
Said it with such enthusiasm. But, I mean, this game looks entirely different, though, now, watching after week 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup, man.
That's going to be fun.
Smith, Justin Herbert, dueling it out. You got Pete Carroll in Vegas now. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be really interesting. Brock Bowers is questionable, but I think he's good to go. I think we'll see him play. On the Chargers side, I don't think there's really anybody fantasy relevant that is out. But I expect to see a lot of Ladd McConkey. I expect to see a lot of Keenan Allen as well. I think they're going to try to highlight their running game and really get that going. So I expect to see some more Hampton out there pushing. You're going to see a lot of Genty. So there are some fantasy relevant players in this. Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So I expect the duel to shoot out for sure. Yo, give me 1 second. Wife is stepping away, so I want to say bye to her. So let's take a promo break. It's a good time to take a promo break. We'll be right back and close this out. So, guys, hit that like button. You're watching Fantasy Reports Injury Start Updates Saturday morning. Hit that like button. Keep rocking with us. I'm the bus driver. That's TJ. We're holding it down. I'll be right back.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted to go through against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA like, oh, okay. And then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these 2 kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
And on the Shady Sports Network YouTube channel. That voice so deep. Say it like that. Nah, guys, check out Monarchs of Wrestling every Monday on Shady Sports Network. We got to host the shows, so if you head over to shadysportsnetwork.com, you can find our lineup. If you head over to our YouTube, Shady Sports Network, you can see all the shows we have coming up. Not to mention, you'll see TJ every Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Time over on Around the Indoor Football World. So I just want to throw that out there too. Sam will have to get one of those promos in my loaded up over in here for me. I can get that playing as well too, because you guys come on every morning before the bus stop. I love it. It's like you guys come on and then we can hang out at the bus stop after that, guys. You get some amazing football talk and amazing football action. Stats, they have so many great interviews, players, coaches, GMs. You see every single aspect in the football world, in the arena football world, indoor football world in that show. So check us out every weekend for sure. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, rock with us over here in Shady Sports. So so we were talking about that Chargers Raiders game. I think there's a lot of fantasy implications you can use from that game. Some pretty good starters you probably got in your lineup. I know I'm going to be starting Ashton Genty. And even Jacoby Myers, I think he'll have a decent day. He's probably the only solid pass catcher they have that isn't hurt. And if Brock Bowers is hurt, then you'll probably see a lot more going to Jacoby. Gino just loves to air the ball out, and he can air the ball out. So, Drake. Wait, what? You guys be throwing me for a loop. Baker Mayfield? Or Drake May? I don't know. I kept drinking Drake London. Man, you guys got to Drake May or Baker Mayfield. Oof. Mayfield? Yeah. I mean, that's
Baker.
It's so weird how down people get on Baker, but all he does is make plays.
And it's funny because normally I absolutely hate the cocky, loudmouth quarterbacks, but for some reason, man, dude, I got like a bromance with Baker Mayfield, man. I just love the dude.
All he does is
he backs it up.
Yeah, all he does is be what everybody thought Johnny Manziel was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like that's what it is. Like he has that same flair and cockiness. Plant his flag on your logo in the middle of 50-yard line and grab his cojones at midfield, and then he'll go out there and he'll look pressure in the face and throw a game-winning touchdown on a Hail Mary. So
that handshake or no handshake game in college where he just lit the other team up then. Yeah, you're going to shake my hand now, huh?
Right?
I just love the dude. The dude's awesome.
And not to mention he went unrecruited, you know what I mean? He had to work his way and walk on to the Oklahoma to that team. So, he had a long way to go, and he was still like a number one draft pick. Drake May, I think he's still finding his place. I know he started last week, but he's still kind of in the same footing as Michael Penix. He did complete 30 of 46 passes. He had 46 passes, 287 yards, only one tutty, but he had an interception against the Raiders last week, in which he's going against Miami, and it's like, oh, well, maybe he'll eat. I don't know, right? Maybe Miami's playing for Mike McDaniel's job, right? Maybe they're trying to have a bounce back week and prove they can play against an easy division opponent. I'd see them dominating the Patriots, honestly. That's my opinion. But yeah, Baker all day. I'd probably smash Baker. Drake.
Yeah, plus I see the Patriots maybe leaning more towards the run game this week as well because of who their opponent is.
Mm-hmm.
And also because, Mike Vrabel, man, coming from Tennessee, he did not like having his quarterback throw basically 50 passes in a game. That was totally against his MO. So I don't see Drake getting as many opportunities either. So I want to, maybe get through September, see how Drake May's doing. But, if you have to, start him. But, yeah, if you have this choice, I would definitely go with Baker today.
Yep. I would go with Baker today for sure. Maybe, week 5 or 6, you're probably looking at Drake May because they've locked in. Him and Stephon Diggs have developed a bit of a relationship and they got their connection going. But right now, I would definitely stick with Baker. I think Baker is going to for sure have 2 touchdowns, if not 3 touchdowns or more. And all he does is just go out there and just get it done, man. They're playing Monday night under the lights. You know what I mean? They're just the first game on Monday night, but they're only team, the only game playing right then and there. And then like, TJ said, I think I could see New England going more of a run heavy direction, in which Drake May has the legs, and that's what helps him get points too. But I just don't see him. He has to do a little bit more for me to be like, okay, I'll put him up there. And the tops and the quarterbacks. Whereas Baker, I'll put Baker toe to toe with any other quarterback, quite honestly. From number 1 down on top 10, and I wouldn't have a problem starting him most games. So yeah, I like
and for long term for the season, that's a great quarterback option to have because neither quarterback is in an extremely tough division either. So you're going to have a lot of easy matchups throughout the season between the two too.
Yep. So you're not worried really for injury. You're good either way, but I think Baker's going to have that edge and continue to have the edge just like he did last week.
Yeah!
Yeah, I think Lil John feels the same way too. Dang, man, we made it through. That was fun. Are there any...
It's over already.
Huh?
It's over already?
No, we're not quite over, but I mean, we made it through all the games. We talked all the time. Any game that you're absolutely looking forward to watch today?
Ooh, Eagles Chiefs, man, Super Bowl rematch should be a good one. It's going to be in Kansas City, so I'll be interested to see how many phantom calls happen. But other than that, because we all know they're going to get at least 1 or 2 if stuff starts to go sideways. That keeps them in the game. So I just want to see how they respond because the Eagles, they didn't play around during the Super Bowl last year. They jumped right on them. I don't see it being a runaway game. I see it being a close contest throughout, but I see that game going down to the wire. So that's probably going to be the highlight of the 4:30 games.
Right. Hopefully Jalen Carter gets all his spitting out before he goes in the field. I don't want nobody.
Then honestly, for the 1:00 games, man, I honestly, I'd be interested to see how the Browns and Ravens do, just because you kind of want to see what those two teams are. They both had lackluster games in different ways last week, and then honestly, even the Bengals and Jaguars, just to again see, is what we saw last week real, or they're almost like 2 test games right next to each other in the 1:00 slot.
Yeah. And be interested, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the rest of the games are kind of garbanzo beans. 49ers Saints, I'll probably get that game because of where I'm located at, unfortunately, and have to suffer through that. But not really any games I'm really care too much about in the morning slate. I mean, I guess I got a couple of prop bets on, like, obviously, yeah, Browns and Ravens, and then I got just some games, the early games, because I just can't help it. I'm like, I want to see what happens soon, so I'm going to bet on these early games regardless of who's playing. So I got a couple of early games. We'll see. I may watch them, but definitely the Broncos for that afternoon game. Or, well, here where I'm at, it's the 2:00 game. So on the East Coast, I guess it's that 4:05 game. I'll be looking forward to that. And yeah, the Chargers Raiders, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens from that tomorrow night. But as far as today, yeah, just really the Broncos game. And then what's the late game today? Oh yeah, it's the
Vikings.
Weird. Wild. That was the best they could come up with for the Sunday night game today. So that should be exciting. They're really trying to prop up the NFC South, it feels like. And
and the younger quarterbacks too.
Oh yeah. You're right. There we go. I like that though. You gotta huh?
The future stars of the game.
Future stars. The future's now, old man. Yeah.
Back in my day, Big Ben used to run all over the place.
Right. I remember when Peyton Manning ran once his entire career, and it was the slowest quarterback sneak you ever saw.
Was that the Dallas Cowboys Broncos game
Yeah.
where he faked it and like basically like slow walked it in and no one caught up to him
No
somehow?
one
That
knew
was
what
great.
was going on until he was in it. Even when he was in a touchdown, they're like, nah, the ball is over there. I don't know why it's over there. No one knew what was going on. That was the most unexpected play, I feel like, ever in the past
They
10
were looking
years.
at John Fox like, you really just had Peyton Manning do a QB keeper? Are you out of your mind?
I think
It
that was a
worked. It
season.
worked.
I think that was a season that Tom Brady was leading the league in short yardage attempts. He had like a short, like 2 or 3 every game or something. And then Peyton Manning comes and does the one. Yeah, so it's cool to see these quarterbacks nowadays. Almost all of them are pretty mobile. They're super young, and they all got that Pat Mahomes ugly sidearm throw. They can throw out any angle. It's just cool to see the evolution of quarterbacks because they've had so much more to go off of, and even just the past 5 years to help them evolve to this point as well, to kind of microwave and boost that advancement and what they can do. Kind of like when Steph Curry was, crushing it, him and Klay Thompson was crushing it with threes for Golden State, and now you look at, point guards and shooting guards in the NBA, and all of them can shoot from outside the arena, right? So, we're seeing that with these quarterbacks, man. They're ready to go. They come in there, even the ones you're like, well, they didn't do this, they weren't that. The Jackson Darts, you're like, well, maybe they can be. They're better than Russell Wilson, right? So,
And it does bum me out though, thinking about growing up like the Doug Flutys and stuff like that. Like if they would have been coming up in this time, they would have gotten a legitimate chance. Instead, a lot of those guys had to go to the CFL and stuff because short running quarterbacks were like an anomaly.
mm-hmm.
So it was
Yeah,
like nobody knew where to put them. You know,
it's weird.
look
Yeah,
at
and
Michael Vick. I mean, he never even reached his true potential because more people thought of him as kind of like a sideshow quarterback than an actual quarterback. You
mm-hmm.
know,
They didn't develop him. Like, imagine if he had gotten the Lamar Jackson treatment. Because that's what they did with Lamar. They basically took like a season or two to develop his passing game and really turn him into a true pure passer quarterback, a true dual threat quarterback. So that'd be wild, man, to watch and even like Steve Young, he was still like kind of along that same, vein of quarterbacks too, heck, even like Johnny Manziel, if they know what to do with him or how to, deal with his type of quarterback, who knows what Tim Tebow would do, under one of these play callers nowadays that actually knows how to scheme and play up for a mobile quarterback, right? And you take advantage. So yeah, it is wild to think, like you look at it like, oh yeah, who knows? But they did kind of push and pave the ways, even the ones that went to the CFL, they opened it up and showed the way to other younger quarterbacks and kind of pave what those leagues made nowadays too, though, right? Because I think like a lot of the stuff you see Pat Mahomes doing, I bet younger quarterbacks are being told, you don't want to do that. You don't need to be looking like Pat Mahomes. You need to just stay in the pocket, keep your eyes focused downfield, and you know what I'm saying. So we'll see.
while they're looking and saying, "Yo, I would love a $50 million contract."
Right, exactly. So, gosh, man, these younger quarterbacks, though, I'm looking forward to seeing, I guess, Michael Penix against JJ McCarthy in prime time. It is crazy to think, but I'm excited to see it.
NFL season is back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great time.
NFL is back.
Summer's behind us. It's in the states that have 4 seasons, so we're not sweating anymore. It's nice,
Hey, it's barbecue season, man. Get those grills out. It's pretty nice weather. Just hang out. Hopefully, if you are in those southern states, the bugs have kind of went away for a little bit. I know here in Colorado, bugs are like, it's a little too cold for me right now. But it's football, man. Football season. We're back. Week 2. We're talking about it. We're in the thick of it. Dak Prescott has not lost to the Giants since week 14 of 2016 as a rookie. You know what that means? He's about to lose to the Giants today. Dang. I said Giants were going
I
to
wouldn't
dog
put
them.
money on that one, but yeah, that'd be funny to see. I mean,
I know. I was just rethinking because I know I said Dak Prescott was going to go off, but dang, y'all. I don't know. It looks like a setup. But yeah, no, that's all I got. You got anything you want to highlight, talk before we get out of here?
yeah, man, just everybody be safe, be happy. Wherever you watch the games, just enjoy it and have a great Sunday afternoon / night.
There we go. Enjoy it, guys. Have a good one, like you said. And let us know in the chats who was your fantasy bust, who was your fantasy breakout player for today. I'd love to hear about it. So jump in our Discord, jump on our Facebook group, Shady Sports Network, Instagram, wherever you want to jump in, and let us know who do you have that was the player that stood out for you today. Either way it goes, I just love to hear about it. And as we close out, I'm gonna close you out with the bus stop intro just because I think the song's super dope and I'm gonna play it every chance I get. And then it's been fun, guys. So come back, check back in with me Tuesday. We'll be going and looking over the game, the score, the high scores, the low scores, and looking forward to week 3. So it's been fun, guys. It's been real. Thanks for joining us today. TJ, thanks for joining me. You're welcome on whenever you want. I'll try to get it on time next Sunday. We'll get it around 7:00. We'll say it'll be around 7:00 Sunday morning or around 9:00 Sunday morning East Coast time. But for the most part, thank you guys for joining in either way. Thank you guys for the like. It's always fun joining in. Don't forget, if you haven't already, head over to YouTube and subscribe to Shady Sports Network. Shady Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are on social media, look up Shady Sports Network. And we got something good for you. So than that, hope you guys have a wonderful day. TJ, thanks for joining. It's been real. Have a good Sunday. And I look forward to hearing about the prop bets in the chat as well. Peace out, guys.
Absolutely, man. Good luck to the Broncos.
Hey, good luck to your Eagles, bro. Good luck to your Steelers, too. I want to see Aaron Rodgers do good. Got to justify people for picking them up. So I know you don't, but we'll see. It's Ron. We got to see him do his thing. We'll see. Man, Jets defense is going to be looking to go off, too, so Justin Fields might be. Oh, man, I can keep talking. Guys, have a great day. Games are starting soon. Get it going. Let us know what you're looking forward to watching or what you are watching. And I'm sure we'll have something going on too. Some commentating. I think there's some live commentating going on with some games today. So rock with it. Shady Sports Network. This is the Fantasy Reports. I'm the bus driver. That's TJ. Have a great one, guys. Peace out.
It's the bus stop, swerving into what's hot. Coming live, Shady Sports, yeah, we got it on live. Sports and music, yeah, let's get into it. Do it like no other, do it. Blueprint for consuming the team that's never losing. Coming live from Colorado, like, share, and follow. Shady Sports, the motto, fresher than avocado. Play by play and ball for ball, we coming to you from afar. Day to day and call for call, we talk about it all.
Yeah, this the bus stop, talking sports and hip hop. Jump on the bandwagon, cause we talking what's hot. 8303, Denver, what's happening? We got sports action. Come take a ride with us if you DJ and a rapping. No capping, stay on LinkedIn, bringing sports and rap news, stats news, and talking Denver Zuzu. And we ain't hard to find. We on Shady Sports Network like all the time. Gemini and Static got the ball, it's time to grind. It's the show you won't wanna miss, not one line. And ain't there not a show bringing what we bringing. So go ahead and tune in, man. We just hanging at the bus stop.
Shady Sports, 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 Shady Sports. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.